I have never beaten Honor Mode, Baldur's Gate 3's hardest difficulty, even with this many hours played. But I think I know the game enough that I can beat it dishonorably. And now that Larian has given me a time limit,
Patch 7 is coming out next week.
a proverbial fire is lit under my proverbial butt, and I wanna get that golden dice before Honor Mode gets even harder. Also, you are probably seeing this after patch 7 has dropped. Hope you are enjoying the patch. Meet Azir, our dumbass for this playthrough. He's my boy. One time I tried to play Warlock in a short 5-session campaign set in Baldur's Gate. This will be a modded playthrough, but they are going to be cosmetics only, using the enhanced transmog mod because Aloyja on the Nexus made this beautiful Kalimshan pirate outfit, and I can't resist the call of the color orange. Let us begin. The only big thing I made a point of doing in the Nautiloid every run is to get the Everburn Blade using command drop and to kill the Mind Flayer using explosives, so we start Act 1 at level 2. As we wake up on the beach and make our way around early Act 1, gathering everyone, let me tell you my plan for the run. We are going for strong setups and builds, but we won't be hyper optimizing them. For example, I just picked Beast Speech on Azir instead of Repelling Blast because a BG3 playthrough without speak with animals is not fun. The party setup I'm thinking of is Azir as a Sorlock, Eldritch Blast spammer, double dipping damage on charisma modifier with agonizing blast and potent rope. It's a fairly standard Sorlock setup, and our carry until Azir is online and doing big EB damage is gonna be Karlach as a Thief Zerker, which is a thrower build and is proven to be very highly damaging and comes online as early as level 4. The other two are kinda up in the air, but I am gonna romance Shadowheart because I want to do the Night Song point thing, and that's as far as I've gotten in terms of plans. My only big restriction for the run is no giant content skips like getting to Act 2 immediately. And also I'm going to do most, if not all, the quests. Barrelmancy, Invis potion to run away or to skip annoying fights, they're all fair game. Again, this is a dishonorable run. I just want my golden D20. Our big priority for Act 1 is to get level 4, and we can do that pretty safely. The way I do it is to first clear off the ruins. Thankfully, Warlocks have an automatic success for the people standing outside.
Poisonous what? See? That thing could be carrying a plague for all we know.
Get in.
You're dead!
Kill both the living and the undead. And meet Withers. After that, the Grove fight gets us our level 3. In the Grove, we legally steal the Ring of Flinging using the Bag Bug exploit. Rest in peace, Bag Bug exploit. And we are going to use this exploit throughout the run so that we don't go broke, because everything, including money, is essentially free. Also, we now have a Ring of Flinging, which is one of Karlach's forever ring. Very important. Also important is we're going to be doing the same thing to Auntie Ethel to stock up on strength elixirs. Other than that, we just do the standard good guy things at the Grove. We interrogated Zoru. We saved Arabella from being snake food.
Very well. She may go.
And very importantly, we are giving the harpies a wide berth because even with calm emotions active, their multi-attack is very spooky. So we'll just get back to them later. We recruit Will, and through the cliffside near Lacrissa, we can use the scroll of feather falling we legally stole to just jump down and recruit Karlach.
Let's go.
With the party gathered, we push to get level 4. We recruit Best Boy Scratch.
If it comes to that, I may. Thank you.
Before going into the blighted village with Shadowheart disguised as a drow.
Apologies, your lordship.
We get past the initial ambush and something weird happened at the windmill. We managed to get the gobos to stand down, but speak with animals, bite us in the butt. One of the goddamn works clocked our resident animal talking dumbass Azir and forced a conversation that triggered the fight anyway. Yay. Thankfully, like the normal fight, killing the one guy was enough to end it and disaster was averted. We free Barkus, and before we get to the goblin camp proper, we head in the direction of Joaquin's arrest. We meet our resident Disney villain Raphael and save Counselor Floric and some guy from a burning inn.
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
The Spell Sparkler quarterstaff we get as a reward for the quest is Azir's weapon until Act 3. So it's good to pick this up early. We continue to make our way into the goblin camp using the only good thing Trickery Cleric does.
Shove out the claw! Drow coming through!
And in the goblin camp proper, we pick up Returning Pike, Karlach's weapon, until very late in the game. After one of our long rests, we trigger the wolf memory cutscene with Shadowheart, where we have a chance to pick up 2 Night Song points. Unfortunately, I failed the religion check, but by telling her what she's been through for Shar sounds like abuse.
Abuse? Nonsense. The Mother Superior made me strong. For the Dark Lady.
We managed to pick up our first Night Song point. And while we're at it, we actually triggered a 4th wound flare that opens the dialogue option for us to suggest we find a way to heal her mysterious Sharon wound.
Perhaps you're right. But there's little we can do about it just now. Maybe a way will present itself in time if Lady Shar wills it.
And that is our second Night Song point. Booyah! We start our EXP gathering in the Goblin camp by making Crusher kiss our feet. And we also get our back scratched by Abdirak.
Wonderful. You want more?
We free Volo from the Goblin cage.
My friend, soon we can share the flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do.
And we free Bear Halsin. After agreeing to help kill the goblin leaders, our first convenient target is Priestess Gut, whom we need to kill anyway because she is in the way of us getting to the Underdark. After getting her alone, we did a very risky thing and beat the crap out of her in one turn, including a godsend. Near max damage guiding bolt on a 35% to hit. Proving to the haters that Shadowheart does in fact knows how to hit stuff, and me for being a dumbass for attempting this in the first place. This fight also gets us our level 4 and down to the Underdark we go. We touch down in the Selenite outpost and immediately we have Shadowheart's forever chestplate in a trap chest behind this invisible wall. I'm just gonna run Shadowheart as the radiating orb spreader of the party. It's a very easy build and it's one of the strongest and simplest thing you can do as a cleric, and running straight cleric 12 is generally a fine choice, even as trickery. During our first long rest in the Underdark, we trigger the first of the Emperor's cutscene, and we come to my personal favorite part of BG3, which is antagonizing the squid. I don't like the dumb calamari, and I will show my disdain for it at every juncture possible. After that little mishap, we head to the Myakonid colony. The biggest reason is by taking on Darret's quest to save her husband from the Bibberbang field, we are rewarded with the Gloves of Uninhibited Kushigo, which is Karlach's best in slot gloves. Oh, and also while rescuing Balin, we pick up the Noble Stalk and convince Shadowheart to eat it.
Alright, give it here.
Showing her glimpses of a tiefling friend called Renal.
I remembered something.
And that is Night Song Point numero 3. And now we push for level 5. We start by clearing Filro and the Hook Horrors. And we move on to the Bulette, which is basically next door. We revive the Bulette with our buddy Glut's ability and have it help against the Duergar by the beach. And we repay Glut's help by gutting him where he stands. We finish off our current stint in the Underdark by killing both the Spectator and the Drowse. Not forgetting to Eldritch Blast down the still petrified statues for some juicy extra EXP. We circle back to the surface to finally help second best girl write a song, and we also finally save a child from the Harpies. We then clear out the first room and only the first room of the face spider lair. Finally gotten around to sending Anders and his goons to Zariel's embrace. And killed the non-Gnoll Flynn pack of the Risen Road Gnolls. We used this time to sneak through the back of the cave and steal the Zentrim shipment. And after we give it to Xeris, we push her down the cliff and light the cave up in flames. Of course, we don't forget about the clueless Zens at the back of the cave. And after butchering them, we head down to the Underdark via their elevator and snipe off the Minotaurs from high ground. We are oh so close to level 5 now. We get enough EXP for everyone to ding 5 by killing the sleeping bugbear, the barn duo, and the gobbo stationed at the south side of the blighted village.
My little trick.
And a couple of the reanimated skeletons in the secret Thayan necromancer basement. Now, on to Grimforge. The thing about Grimforge is that it's so linear. There are two paths, either near first or grim first, and we're gonna do grim first because that path is easier. So first we need to open the way. We're gonna talk the Deep Rotates into turning on their masters.
Yes. They made the pain. Now they feel it.
Head on through and we cross the skywalk and kill ourselves some stray devils. We actually don't need to fiddle around with the skywalk at all. If we continue down straight this way, we could just fly across and teleport the rest of the party using the waypoint. On the way down to the forge proper, we unanimate the reanimated armors and hose down the magma methods.
Impressive.
Our strategy for Grim is very simple. We park in both the central and the western ledge above the arena, have someone go down and fly back up and trigger the fight. The thing about thrower builds is that if you throw things from above in this game, there's actually added gravity damage. So basically, every time Karlach throws the pike at Grim, she deals an extra 20 bludgeoning damage, which on average means 35 damage per round, with a relatively, compared to the other members of the party, astronomically high hit chance. What you do need to be careful of is if the extra gravity damage kills the target, you do not get any XP. So if you're thinking about trying this, just lobbing things from above, be careful of that. And easy enough, Grim is down, and despite how tedious it looked, it took about 15 minutes in real human being time, so it's not that bad. Next up is Nier, and the path leading up to Nier is Resident Sleeper Honk Shoom Giga Snore, or in human words, extremely boring. I'll just show you like a weird thing that happened. I convinced Britvar to help me kill Nier, and then when I tried to shank the Scrying Eye, the following events happen. I've never seen the Scrying Eye go this way. It always followed me up the stairs. What? Okay. Don't mind if I do. There's like nobody here.
Let's get on with it.
What? Dude, this run is fucking cursed. What?
I am fury. I am death.
Like, what in God's green earth happened there? At least it didn't turn into a total disaster, and after we freed Nier, we whooped his drow ass along with all of the absolutist Dwergar present. Usually, this is where it ends for Grimforge, but I failed this roll. Which means we have to fight again. I've never in my life done this fight, but thankfully, everything was under control. We then freed the gnomes, chopped off Nier's head, gave it to the Myconids, and that's the Underdark complete. We return to the surface land to finish off the Grove questline. First in our list of things to do is Koga, a name which people don't know how to pronounce. I say it like I say Koga, the former Fuchsia City gym leader and current Elite 4 member. Anyways, we massacre a clearing full of mud mephits and a couple of woodwoads, find a letter, and it's time to get snitching. I don't particularly care about what happens to Koga. I found her really unremarkable and inoffensive, but this motherfucker named Markaril deserves to die. And conveniently, if you don't convince Koga to side with you against the Shadow Druids, he turns hostile. Truly, this is the perfect crime. Who could have done such a thing? Nobody knows. Oh yeah, and the rest of the Shadow Druids also die. And now we're free to clear the goblin camp. Before we start unaliving goblins en masse, we enlist the help of Lump the Enlightened.
A brilliant notion, and a boon to my aching belly.
We head to the camp and spike the drink with poison as our first step. We succeeded in all the checks and no combat was triggered as of yet. But I didn't actually really know how I was gonna tackle the camp, so in a moment of very tired late night gaming where I had no thought, head empty, I just kinda walked up to Dror Ragzlin and just antagonized him. We did manage to burst him down with not much trouble, but then the ogres just kinda stopped helping. But that ended up being okay since Karlach literally just one-shots every goblin she sees. And we just slowly moved the fight from the main room towards Pintara turn by turn, and she really didn't stand any chance in the face of our resident berserker.
This'll help.
We clean up the rest of the goblins both inside and outside the camp.
That's it.
Head back to the grove to tell folks the good news. A party is then held in our honor.
One raunchy ballad coming up.
We spend the night with Shadowheart, and we are ready to move on to tackle the mountain pass. But before that, we have a bevy of loose ends to tie up. The big one being Anti-Athel. Slowly tackling them one by one, we first cut down the local owlbear and cultist population in one encounter.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
We do some pest control on a local spider infestation and make the local highway safe again by clearing off unwanted elements holed up in a cave.
There's a parasite in
Also, at this point, I just remembered I should respec Azir once we hit 6, so we're doing that now. Azir is going from pure warlock to a 2 Great Old One warlock and 4 Draconic Sorcerer multiclass. We now move on to the Hag Swamp proper. I was 2 years old when I found out that if you sneak attack the fake sheepies, the red caps actually just run away instead of aggroing you. But if you blow them up head on, they actually aggro just like normal. They of course don't pose a challenge.
Andy.
And we help Astarion take care of his Gur problem.
Indeed it is. We should do something about this threat.
Well done, soldier.
Before barging into this so-called tea house and confront Anti-Athel. The usual song and dance ensue. We make our way through her lair. The Athel fight is not that big of a problem, with our marshals having multiple attacks through either multi-attack or dual wielding, so we keep the clones at bay while we wail on the real auntie. We then get pulled into the conversation, and with regrets to Marina, I'm giving her up to the hag.
What? What about me?
In all the other timelines, I've saved her, but this one time, I'm sorry. I am guaranteeing the hag here. And with Anti-Athel out of the way, it's time for the crash. We walk up to the Githyanki patrol with Lae'zel in front, hoping to avoid a fight. We persuaded Lae'zel to lie. She succeeded in her deception roll, thank the gods. Some of my friends who play this game say they have never seen Lae'zel fail the deception check, but I have. So I'm super glad to not have to fight the patrol this time, because Githyanki parry is not an okay ability. Entering the mountain pass, we managed to deal with the undead problem before going to the monastery. Fun fact,
That's enough.
You can just attack during this cutscene and the doors will stay open. You lose no approval from Lae'zel, and on top of that, you'll make the Crash Merchant Lady fight easier. With the door wide open, it's pretty easy to just walk in and go downstairs. But first, we go upstairs, we murder some eagles because they were in the way of Shadowheart's best in slot helmet. And we also knock on the wall compartment contained in the Dawn Master's crest. And now we are ready to enter Crashy Lake. First order of business is shopping. We legally rob the germaphobe lady of all her valuables. For the Zaytis, we just send Lae'zel to sit in the torture chair. No need to make any rolls, just watch the event unfold. We did manage to avoid the fight after the Zaytis exploded via a deception check, but in hindsight, taking the fight would probably make it more convenient down the line. For my next trick, I will attempt the assassination of Kithrak Terrazin by fishing for hold person. And on a second try, voila, a dead Kithrak. On a more serious side, we didn't get pulled into a fight because the wolves are asleep, and I think we are technically outside of the Ardent's line of sight, and or we are considered to be in a different room. But I like to think the Ardent that's stationed by the locked door, a direct subordinate to Vorgas, doesn't really like Terrazin all that much, and is completely happy watching her get mauled by a band of Istik, which is a very funny interpretation that I'm sticking with. Next up is the boogeyman of Act 1, the Vorgas fight. But we interrupt you for the last time in this video with my favorite part of playing Baldur's Gate 3, time to antagonize the Emperor. This time by running a sword through its stomach. Again, Vorgas is probably the spookiest out of the Act 1 fights. If you fail to burst him down, he increases his AC as well as his Giga buffs. Spiritual weapon is just A, deals a lot of damage, 2, have the movement speed of the fucking Flash, and 3, for some goddamn reason, they get opportunity attacks. But thankfully we managed to get everything under control with strategy and a little bit of luck.
I'm glad you came to your senses.
With Vorgas down, the rest of his entourage follows suit. And now we get to loot everything this side of the crash, including the blood of Lathander. After our business here is concluded, it is simply a matter of systematically going through the crash and making sure there are no survivors. It's not perfect and there were dicey moments, but we have made it through Act 1, and boy am I glad it's over. Act 1 is where a lot of runs go to die, apparently, according to the internet. Just because you are still so underpowered, but it's done and it's time for Act 2, which we will be entering through Grimforge. If you have watched to this point, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you with Act 2.